My name is Alan D'Souza and I work as policy analyst for Office of Special Programs, which administers TRIO and Gear Up programs at Wichita State. So a little bit about me is like I am originally from India, where I did my graduate and undergraduate studies in English and in education. I went to school in Oklahoma State for my Ph.D. in adult and extension education, and when I finished that doctoral degree, I was fortunate enough to get a job at Wichita State in the Office of Special Programs, and I have been working here since 2004. So that makes it 15 years. In fact, I just attended a breakfast in the morning for 15 years of my service, and I guess that should be enough. Yeah, I do need to add that I did not know about the TRIO programs till I came to Wichita State, but I would consider myself eligible for any of the TRIO programs because none of my parents went to college. And technically, when I did my PhD, because I was on some kind of a graduate assistantship, I was also limited income. So I'm both limited income and first generation when I first came to work for TRIO programs. As a policy analyst, actually, my main role is to help fellow TRIO directors as well as staff to understand the role and importance of evaluation. I help them in constructing instruments, collecting data, analysis. I also help them specifically to gather data so that they could write grant proposals, because I guess few people know that TRIO programs are grant funded, but that we have to write a grant every so often, like 5 years or 4 years, and it's a very competitive process. So that becomes one of the main focus. Besides that, I'm also involved in providing some kind of new technology, or methods of collecting data, such as call tricks, to my fellow directors as well as other staff people. If I just think about the Wichita community, the other day in a directors meeting, a lot of the fellow directors were talking about the high rate of absenteeism in Wichita schools. And I think that TRIO and Gear Up programs, by virtue of their very main objective of participant retention, is actually serving the Wichita community by addressing this main problem. So that goes for the Wichita community, it is keeping students in school and motivating them to go back, be in school. So I think that's the main thing. When it comes to the state, 2 of our programs, Upward Bound Math Science and Kansas Kids at Gear Up, serve students across the state. Upward Bound Math Science, being focused on STEM, actually is helping a lot of students, especially from disadvantaged backgrounds, to pursue degrees and professional degrees in STEM fields, which of course will affect a state like Kansas because of the high need for people in these fields. Now, Gear Up program, let's be again very specific. The Gear Up program that we have focuses on foster children or children in foster care. I think it has been a symbiotic relationship between the Kansas Education Department and Gear Up, because Gear Up has actually helped them create a system whereby they have been able to track these foster kids as they transition from foster home to foster home, from school district to school district, and so that keep them in the loop so that they can graduate from high school and go on to college. Now, when it comes to national level, I think we all know that TRIO and Gear Up programs essentially were born out of the civil rights movement, and these programs over all the 50 years have been one of the main instruments of addressing the problem of inequity. And it is also actually a war on poverty. So TRIO and Gear Up programs are providing these disadvantaged students more access to education. And they are not just addressing issues of poverty, economic poverty. They are also addressing issues of educational poverty. They are also addressing the problem of technology poverty, or poverty about the digital gap between those who have it and have not. So I think at a national level, TRIO and Gear Up programs have really addressed the fight on poverty, and they need to continue doing it.